Justin Trudeau is the king of deflecting tough questions with meaningless utopian statements that numb Canadians to his platitudes. Last week, the Liberals unveiled 2 planks of their economic platform. The first, a proposal to tax the rich, and the second, the introduction of a child benefit plan that would divvy benefits to families according to their income level. At first, his announcement was proclaimed as this great populist plan expected to generate political points, but that high was quickly quelled once economists started pointing out that his numbers just don't add up. Namely, there is a massive hole in his child benefit plan. The Liberal child benefit plan would cost some $22 billion. The Liberals have said they'd pay for it by scrapping the Conservative child care plan and cancelling income splitting. But together, that would only yield $19 billion, $3 billion short of what is needed to fund the plan. Now, the Liberals say they're only $2 billion short, and up until yesterday, before the Conservatives pointed out a gross miscalculation in their plan, most assumed that to be true. So when pressed on where he'd find the funding for the shortfall, he was pressed on that $2 billion number. But keep in mind, it's actually $3 billion. Nevertheless, he was first pressed by Evan Solomon of the CBC where he'd find the money, and have a listen to his response.
Let's start with the child care benefit element. You're adding $4 billion to the system in your new plan. You get $2 billion from cancelling the Conservatives' income splitting. And the question is, where does the other $2 billion come from? It's not in the plan.
Well, I think it's important that you're highlighting that we are putting new money into this program because we believe that Canadian families have had too much struggling over the past years in terms of the high cost of raising their kids. That's not fair.
I wonder if Justin Trudeau thought he'd safely dodged that question there with this fable of middle-class suffering in Canada. He didn't even attempt to answer the very legitimate question. But Evan Solomon picked up on that, so he asked him again.
But the important piece is, how do you pay for it? And you know, the Conservatives have said you've got a $2 billion hole in this plan. You put out a plan, but where does that other $2 billion come from?
Oh, we've put out 2 very important pieces of our plan to restore fairness to this country and help the middle class and grow the economy. But that's not our entire platform. Our entire platform will be fully costed and will have accounted for all these elements.
In what world is that an acceptable answer? Canadians must wait to see where Trudeau finds the extra couple $2 billion. This is the first big policy announcement the Liberals have made, and Trudeau comes up a few $1 billion short, and he's unwilling to account for that. Even the CTV couldn't avoid asking about his budget shortfall. Watch.
Now, your tax plan is still $2 billion short. Where are you going to make up that money?
The fact is that we're giving much more generous benefits every month, tax-free, to every family in this country with kids that makes less than $150,000. A typical family of 4 earning $90,000 a year will get a tax-free monthly check of $490. That's $2,500 more than Mr. Harper's plan, tax-free. So this is an investment that's going to both help a lot of families across the country and grow the economy.
Okay, so you're saying to Canadians wait until a little later before the election where that $2 billion will come from. So let me ask you then.
People have been very patient over the past months as we put forward our economic plan, and I know they're going to be happy to see what we put forward in the coming months as well.
One would be forgiven in thinking that the Liberals make up their economic policy on the fly. The truth is, there's simply no way the Liberal plan is fully costed out. Gerald Butts, Trudeau's chief advisor, mused that the Liberals would pull from the Conservatives' projected surplus. The thing about that surplus is that it is forecast at $1.7 billion. The operative word being forecast. A forecast is something that's going to take place in the future, and should the economy slow down, which is not inconceivable, the forecast could drop. Moreover, that's not a terribly large surplus, is it? Which leaves the door open to what in the event of a Liberal government? Future tax increases, or Trudeau running massive deficits like his father did, which will down the line raise your taxes. So it's no wonder Justin Trudeau's mastered the art of deflection. Because to be transparent and forthcoming would mean he'd have to admit he'll raise taxes and isolate the largest voting base, the very base he's pandering to. Justin Trudeau talks a lot about fairness for the middle class. His platform is anything but fair, and yesterday in QP this was made abundantly clear.
What the leader of the Liberal Party proposes is to take away from every Canadian family the universal child care benefit, to take away income splitting, to take away tax-free savings accounts, to take away all of these things from middle-class seniors, from middle-class families. And even after he takes all those things away, his numbers still don't add up. Mr. Speaker, we're going to fight to keep taxes down and keep those benefits for families.
Mr. Speaker, benefiting every single family isn't what is fair. What is fair is giving help to those who need it the most.